All right, we're live. Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to MESC Red Devils NCR. First of all, before we start the stream, wishing all of our viewers and subscribers a very happy new year from our end. We hope that 2023 brings you much joy, happiness, and success in whatever that you do. With that being said, I'm joined with Saim Bhai and Munawar Bhai with me. Saim Bhai, Munawar Bhai, happy new year to you all both as well. And
Happy New
I
Year,
hope you're
Happy New
doing
Year.
well. So the game's coming thick and fast. That means only one thing, that is chaos for FPL managers like us. Uh, it one game week just got over yesterday, and here we are talking about the next game week, which is going to start in less than 6 hours from now. With that being said, Shahin bhai, I'll start with you. How was your game week 18? I think it was game week 18, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes,
Same way, how was your game week 18? What was your score? Which of your players performed and which of your players did not?
My score was 50, and don't think it was that good of a game week. The only player who performed for me, so I don't think any one of them gave me much of points. It was just Trippier with I think 9 point haul. That was the best in my team. None of the players did well.
So, all in all, difficult game week, but still
Yeah,
above
different.
average. No, I don't think it was above average. Was it above average, your score?
I didn't check that. I think it all the red marks. I don't think it was above average. Average, yes, 48. No, above
Okay.
average. Yes, a point above
So
average.
then, average game week for you, above average compared to other of the FPL managers at least. So, not bad, not good either. Many game weeks more you can cover up, so that's not a problem. Munubai, what was your game week like? Did you have any punts that you had taken which worked,
no.
or did you go with the tried and tested template of the FPL, which most of the FPL managers have been using? And what was your score for the game week?
My score was for 54, above average I was. I made one decision, tough decision. I went like Salah gave last match point, so I was like, this time we will make Salah captain. So I made Salah captain, he gave nothing, and then Cancelo didn't came, so it was a good for me because I had Andres on bench, so he gave me 5 points, so that was a good for me. So that it got auto subs. So Andres came, then Martinelli gave point. Elmiron was blank. Elmiron didn't give. Then Shaw gave the points, and it's good. Shaw is getting bonus 3 points as he is staying as a CB. That's for good for me. Then Trippier gave me the points. Then I had Allison as a keeper, so he didn't. Liverpool is like not getting so many CS, so it's bad for me. And Almiron was blank this week, and then I had Mitrovic. I was seeing the match, and I was like, he gave one assist. It's time he will give one goal also. So he missed the penalty, and the points all got minus. So if Mitrovic had given me some points that I might have scored 60 plus, but because of Mitrovic, I am like 54 points. So it was okay for me because I'm seeing the average. Average is 48. Then that means it's a good okay week. Okay week for me. Not very much good, not very much bad.
मुन्नू भाई, आपने तो पार्टी बदल ली थी पिछले स्ट्रीम में. आप तो बोल रहे थे कि हाइलैंड कैप्टन बना दोगे
मैं
लास्ट में
वही
आपने.
मैं थोड़ा वही रिसर्च किया. मैं बोला आई वाज लाइक के अपना लेस्टर है तो दे विल गिव सम पॉइंट्स एंड गोल्स भी लिवरपूल के ऐसे गए. ओन गोल गए. दोनों ओन गोल गए लिवरपूल के और दोनों बेचारे एक ही बंदे से गए. तो आई वाज लाइक
हाँ.
कि चलो कुछ तो सलाह कुछ तो करेगा. सलाह को 2 चांस भी मिले, सलाह ने कुछ किया नहीं. और नूनेज़ का एक असिस्ट मिला तो नूनेज़ प्लेयर्स लोग को अच्छा हो गया. नूनेज़ मैनेजर को कि लाइक असिस्ट का पॉइंट्स मिल गया. बाकी तो हालैंड भी ओके के परफॉर्म किया. एक ही गोल मारा है उसने और बस बाकी तो
बट कंपेयर टू द अदर प्रीमियम्स, हालैंड का रिटर्न तो ज्यादा ही था, बिकॉज हालैंड के अलावा केन ने भी ब्लैंक किया, सलाह ने भी ब्लैंक
हुँ,
किया, केडीबी ने भी ब्लैंक किया. तो आई थिंक जिन्होंने भी मेजोरिटी इन चारों प्लेयर्स में से जो भी कैप्टन बनाया, उन सारों ने ब्लैंक ही किया हालैंड को छोड़ के. तो इन द कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ थिंग्स, आई थिंक if you had made Haaland captain, then that is a good game week altogether. So coming to my team, I had a very good game week compared to others. I scored 65. Uh, I had Raya as my goalkeeper, so Raya gave me 9 points with three bonus as well. So that was good for me. The only place where I didn't perform as well was defense, where Gabriel did give me points, but Akanji and Trippier did give me points, but then Akanji and Gabriel did not. Gabriel in defense is giving me a little bit of concern because this is two straight games where he's not had a return, as well as he got booked yesterday, so his game was zero. And मुनावर भाई, मैंने आपको गेम वीक के डेडलाइन से पहले पूछा था कि मैं ओडेगार्ड के बदले शॉ लाऊं कि नहीं लाऊं, तो मैंने ओडेगार्ड के बदले शॉ नहीं लाया, एंड आई थिंक दैट वाज अ ब्लेसिंग इन डिसगाइज बिकॉज ओडेगार्ड स्कोर्ड
लेकिन
गिव मी
सेम
पॉइंट्स.
बोर्ड गेम सेम पॉइंट्स.
हाँ,
बोथ
बट
गेम सेम पॉइंट्स.
प्रॉब्लम ये था कि शॉ मेरे बेंच पे ही था, वरना और पॉइंट्स हो जाते. But overall, great game week. Haaland, Kane, then afterwards Martinelli and Odegaard bagged. Rashford scored, came on and scored. Then after, the only blanks I had was Almiron, KDB. But then overall, I think I had a pretty decent game week. I'm in the top 40,000 globally, and I think that is something which I am surprised as well. But all in all, it has been great. So we have a couple of questions already in our stream. Rudrabhai says Cancelo ka kya kare, and whether we put Mount as captain. So we'll break these questions into two parts. We'll take it as two separate questions, and let's take the first part of the question: what to do with Cancelo. I think the bigger question over here is what do we do with City assets as a whole, because Joao Cancelo is not the only FPL assets that a lot of managers have. Apart from Cancelo, there is also Phil Foden, who's another 8 million midfielder, and he started only once in the last 6 games. Joao Cancelo has not started at all ever since the World Cup is done. So there are whispers around that currently Joao Cancelo is out of favor with Pep, and along with that, the emergence of Rico Lewis as a capable performer all this while has also made difficult. And Pep has openly praised Rico Lewis. Now, normally you do not see Pep praising a player until and unless he's put a very good performance. There is a difference between keeping your player morale up, and there is a difference between genuinely praising your player. And by the looks of it, Pep has genuinely praised Rico Lewis, and he's been putting in great performances ever since he's come into the starting 11. So what do we do of these two premium assets? Because the point here is, if you're removing Foden, there are many other options which you can utilize as well. And there are current options who are giving you points in spite of the less price that they are. And same goes for Cancelo. So, Munubhai, I'll start with you. Munubhai, do you think that if you had Cancelo, I think you did have Cancelo in the previous game week and he did not start. So now that's 2 game weeks that you've had Cancelo. Are you going to risk him and keep him for this game week, or are you going to remove him? Because let's in case people forget, City have a double game week in game week 20. So what do you do? Do you stick with Cancelo with the hope that he might play in the double game week, or are you going to offload him if he does not start this game week?
Like if you see, Cancelo didn't had a best World Cup. He was playing very slow and bitterly rough. So keeping it that mind, Pep has kept him out. So it's like, I will say, as a FPL manager, I will keep him till the next game week, because I need to save. If I want to remove him, then I need to save my one FT. So it's better you keep Cancelo till you have game week, double game week, like it's next double game week. So if you want, you can keep it him on bench. If it's come, then it's good. If it doesn't come, or else you can keep him on the team if you want. Then you need to keep your subs proper. Like you need to know with who will be your first sub, and then the Cancelo, if doesn't come, then your first sub will come. And then Foden, if you talk about Foden, you can remove Foden because it's like Mahrez is performing well, Grealish is also performing well. So I think it's time to remove Foden from your team. Don't keep Foden. And talking about KDB, keep him. He will give you points, because it's like KDB is the ball provider to the team. KDB is
Correct.
providing the ball to the players.
Correct.
But it's like whenever KDB, like I was seeing both matches I have seen of City, KDB gives the ball to Haaland, Haaland doesn't score. But KDB, like I don't know, it's a misfortune or unlucky, I don't know. But KDB is trying his best. He gives the ball. He gives to other player. Like previously, also he gave to Mares. Mares gave to Haaland. Haaland scored. Then again, around we talk about Grealish 2 assists. Both the balls were given by KDB to Grealish only, and
Correct.
then Grealish put inside the ball. So it's like you can't remove KDB. You can keep KDB, but you can remove Foden, and you have so many options in 8 million. You can go for Gakpo because he's a new asset. You can try, you can wait, and like you can go for Saka, you can go for Odegaard. It's like you can keep two Arsenal mid players in your team. Like you can keep Martinelli, you can keep Saka, or you can keep Odegaard. And talking
Correct.
about Cancelo, keep till double game week. After double game week, if it doesn't start, then you can remove it.
So how many free transfers do you have, Munubai? Do you have one free
I
transfer? Or
have
do you
one.
have two?
I have one. I'm
Oh,
saving this week a free transfer.
all
I'm
right.
saving it.
Yeah. So Saeed bhai, I come to you on a similar perspective. Now, Munubai said that he would keep KDB in his team if he had him. Would you follow the same pathway, or have you already had enough of KDB not able to perform? Because in spite of him giving pre-assists, yes, we do agree that he is giving the pass before the pass. Unfortunately, pre-assists do not count for a lot in the FPL standpoint. So, what are your thoughts on the KDB situation? I think it's pretty obvious that people would start to remove Phil Foden because then, if you keep him for long, it becomes a trap that he's going to play this game week, he's going to play this game week, and then you keep on holding an asset which is not doing you much in return, and then you get stuck with that asset particularly. So, let's talk about the KDB situation, Shaim Bhai. Do you think you would keep him, or would you move on from him and keep someone like a Salah or a Bruno perhaps?
I already moved on from him,
Oh,
and
so who
I have hold on to Cancelo, but I have moved on from KDB. He
and
was
who you
too
have in
expensive
place of
asset to
KDB?
have. I brought in Rashford. I didn't have Rashford, so I brought in Rashford.
Okay, so you have a lot of money in the bank, right? So yeah, so let's talk about that. I mean, let's talk about further situation. Now we have so I think now the series of double game weeks will begin from this game week onwards. So Chelsea and Fulham are the teams with the double game week in this. Chelsea play Fulham, and I think they play Man City. If I'm not sure, no,
Chelsea play Man City and Fulham. Fulham play
Fulham
Leicester
and
and
Leicester and
Chelsea.
Chelsea. Yeah, correct. So, like Rudrabai said, do you take a risk and go with Mount as captain? Because there are so in both the sides that have the double game week. Sembai,
Mhm.
let's be honest, there is not a lot to pick and choose from. As far as Chelsea is concerned, for example, their only bankable asset because is Reece James and he's out for 4 weeks.
Mm.
So that is one asset who you could bank on your money's worth that he's going to give you FPL returns. He himself is not there because apart from him, I do not see anyone who has the potential to give a substantial return as far as Chelsea is concerned. Even their centre backs, even their keeper, beat their midfielder, even their forwards for that matter. You just don't. You're not convinced. And then we come to Fulham. Fulham we'll talk on a later perspective. But like Rudrabai says, would you go for Mount as captain, or are you going to stick with someone like a Haaland or a Salah, or maybe a KDB for the rest of the people who haven't?
Mount as a captain, I don't think I'll go with it because see, it won't be a risk worth taking.
Okay, fair enough.
Mount is something. Mount as a if you if you are seeing that he'll give a return, how much return can he give? He'll score one goal in 2 matches. That's all I am thinking about. So if he scores one goal and keeps two clean sheets, he will get five. I think how much? Three, three, six, five, 11. 11 points in 2 matches. That is not enough if you are going for a captain of a double game week. That is not at all enough. I don't
Fair
think so.
enough. Yeah, fair enough.
That
Manubai, what
Haaland can
about
give
you?
in a game week. In a game week, Haaland can give that to you.
Yeah, correct. Haaland gives you the same amount of points in one game week rather than two. So yeah, I think that's a pretty logical assumption to come to not making Mount captain. Manubai, do you think Mount would be a genuine option? Let's just isolate on Mount because Mount is a premium midfielder. He comes under that group of premium midfielders who cost 8 million, along with Foden and Saka, and yeah, in that bracket. Now, out of those three, Foden and Saka to a certain extent have repaid the value for their repaid the value for their price, but Mason Mount has largely underwhelmed. The fact and the only notable return that he has given, I think, is the recent game where he scored twice, and that is the only game where he gave a decent return for FPL managers. But yet, he is emerging as a valuable as a captaincy option for double game week. Would you actually punt on Mason Mount being captain in double game week?
It's right, it's risk taking. It's up to you. Like as a Sayambai said, if you're making in captain, if he scores one goal, you will get 5 points plus if he because Chelsea won't get clean sheet because Chelsea defenders are very like there are only four defenders they have. Thiago, they are depending upon them only. Like Thiago, Koulibaly, Kurkula, and then there's
Aspi.
Esperalta.
Aspi.
Only their fours are there, and if anyone get injured, then Shalobai will come from the bench. So there are only five defenders they have. So if you keep Mount for goal, then it's like risk taking to keep because if Haaland score goals, then it's different words because Haaland if Haaland scores 2.2 goals, then you will get around 5-5. You will get around 5-10 plus. City is not. I'm not also clean sheet is not about City. So it's better you go for not go for Mount because I won't think he will give you some points. He might give you some okay points. Like if he plays both the game, he score and if he scores in both the game, then it's a good. But if he doesn't score, then it's a risk taking because Chelsea have different goal scorer. Like sometimes Sterling scores, sometimes Havertz scores, sometimes Pulisic scores, sometimes if there is penalty, then Jorginho takes. And Mount is like he might give you some assist. So it's better you don't go with Mount. You can go for someone else
So,
if you want.
yeah. So, Mundubai, if there was Chelsea players, more than one Chelsea player in your side, who would you think would be a valid captaincy choice among the Chelsea players that are currently active? So there is Havertz, there is Sterling, there's Aubameyang, and there is Mount. So I think out of they are the only four logical players who any FPL manager would have as far as Chelsea is concerned. So do you think any one of these fours have the potential to be a captain?
I might have taken risk with Sterling because like I also it's like risky taking because he scored his goal yesterday after 4 months he scored the first goal. So it's like I don't think so. It's risky to make any Chelsea player because they are winning one. As you see their records, they have only just won one game with Broth, but that also 2-0. Baki they have made all draws 1-0, 1-1, 0-0, and they have lost one match with Brighton 4-2. Baki though they have very less potential of scoring goals. Like they have only scored one or two goal max to max. So it's not worthy to make any Chelsea player as your captain.
Yeah. So Rudrabai says that he has Kukureya and Mount in his FPL side. So Rudrabai, as far as I see, I think you can persist with Mason Mount if you do not captain him. You can keep him as a player in your side. But then, as far as Kukureya is concerned, ever since he joined Chelsea, I have not seen any performance that he has put to instill confidence in me that Kukureya could be a valid option. There are much more better players that you can look forward to as far as defenders are concerned in case of Kukureya. But then, but I would suggest that you persist with Mount. Kukureya could be someone that you could sell and look forward to. Now, let's talk about Fulham. Uh, Fulham also have a double game week, and compared to Chelsea, Fulham have players who have been delivering on FPL. Andres Pereira has been a consistent performer, and he has been a perpetual on every team's bench. There have been someone who have started him here and there, and I have been one of them too. Who has started him. Apart from that, Mitrovic has been another one who has been a consistent in other teams' side. But here's the catch: Mitrovic currently is coming off a game where he has missed a penalty, and is currently on four yellow cards. That means if he plays the Leicester game and if he gets booked, he is certain to miss the Chelsea game due to suspension, which in essence basically means that Mitrovic is only playing a single game week. So we have Nikhil Bhai with us on stream. Nikhil Bhai, Happy New Year first of all. Uh, Hello, Nikhil.
I think you are taking my name wrong, bro.
Oh, okay. Hi, Parth. Parth. Okay, Parth. Sorry,
Yes.
मैं भूल गया. अमित भाई का कमेंट था तो मैंने आपका नाम नहीं देखा. So first of all, happy New Year, Parth भाई.
Same here.
Hoping well. So yeah, let's talk about Fulham. Let's talk. Andreas Mitrovic, two names who are consistent in everyone's teams. Whereas Andreas mostly has found a place on everyone's bench. Mitrovic is the one who has been starting games for them. So who out of these two would you have in your star? अरे पार्थ भाई चले गए. बुरा लग गया क्या मैंने उनका नाम गलती से गलत नाम ले लिया तो. अरे anyways, I'll come back to him. Saima, I'll come back to you. Same question. Would you keep Andreas and your starting 11 if he is on your bench? And would you persist with Mitrovic in spite of the fact you know that he is on 4 yellows and you know he is not a convincing penalty taker if and when he does get a penalty?
I'll come to Mitrovic, but first of all, see, there comes a time in every FPL season for me where I'm pre-deciding everything as that game week is going on. I decide for the next game week, which I've already done for this one. So I already have Leno and Andreas as my players for the double game week. Mitrovic, I am not taking a risk because he is on 4 yellow. If he gets a yellow in this particular match, the coming match, he won't be playing the next one. So it's a very big risk to captain him for this particular game week. So no, for me, Mitrovic is not the answer. Maybe Andreas, but it will be same as Mount. We cannot guarantee returns from him. So just stick with them if you want, but don't captain them.
पार्थ भाई सेम क्वेश्चन. यू डिस्क्राइब. इतना बुरा लग गया क्या भाई मैंने गलत नाम ले लिया तो क्या आप चले ही गए स्क्रीन से?
नहीं नहीं वो थोड़ा इंटरनेट इशू हो रहा था. बताओ बताओ क्वेश्चन क्या था?
So everyone has either Pereira or Mitrovic as the most common Fulham players. I mean, there are people who will be taking Harrison Reid, Tim Ream, or even Bernd Leno for that matter. But Andreas and Mitrovic are the two players who are consistent in most of the players' drafts. Now, my question to you is, do you take any one of them to be a valid captaincy option? Because like Saim Bhai, before you reappearing, Saim Bhai said that with Andres being a midfielder, there are chances that he might blank in one of the two games. As far as Mitrovic is concerned, we already spoke about the fact that he is on 4 yellows and he's not the best penalty takers that Fulham have. In spite of him being assigned on penalty duties, there could be a realistic chance that if and when Fulham do get a penalty against Leicester, there are chances that he might miss this one as well. Along with the fact that he essentially plays only a single game week if he gets a yellow in this match.
Yeah.
So what do you make of the fact that would you have Mitrovic in your side A, and B, if you do have Mitrovic in your side, do you captain him? And do you have Andreas Pereira in your side as well?
Yeah, okay. So that is a very multifaceted question, but all right. So first of all, not a lot of people actually have Mitrovic because there are a lot of viable forward options in his stead. Like you have Havertz, who has come up in recent times. Then you have Martial, you have Darwin, you have Haaland. Obviously, nobody's going without Haaland these days. So if you have Mitrovic, you stick with him obviously because you don't want to you don't want his transfer to cost you 4 points. So you stick with him. But of course, there is that risk that if he picks up the yellow in the first game, then it's very hard for you. It becomes very hard for you. And that is again the reason why I personally, being a very conservative FPL manager, would not advise captaining Mitrovic. And I mean, you can captain Haaland instead because Chelsea are not in a good place right now. I was watching the game against Nottingham Forest last night because I own Havertz from Chelsea, and I was disappointed. They have nothing in attack, they have nothing in defense, and Haaland is just a monster right now. He scored what 21 goals in 15 games. He's going to break all records. So I have no doubt in my mind that Haaland is going to destroy Chelsea's defense. And Koulibaly, who Thiago Silva, who it doesn't really matter. So I mean, you shouldn't get tunnel visioned into picking captain options just because they have a double game week. There are a lot better captain options out there as well. And to be very honest with you, Andreas could be easily replaced with any of the Arsenal guys, be it Martinelli, Saka, Odegaard. So, I mean, if somebody has a five-man midfield and they've not gone for Andreas, I wouldn't advise them to go in for him right now. because obviously you want to stick with somebody like Almiron who provides insane value under 6 million, and then you have
Yeah, exactly.
Odegaard. Yeah,
And I think Almiron's blank day before was the first blank that he's had in so long. I mean, we're so used to looking at Almiron scoring or assisting that his blank came as a shock. For me at least, because I've had Almiron for a very long time now, and for me it was a shock. But then again, I don't think I'm going to remove him on based on just one blank game week. So Munubai coming. So Rudrabai says Havertz or Martial. I would actually say none, because Havertz is also as unpredictable as they come. And as far as Anthony Martial is concerned, you could see in the game against Wolves that whenever Martial plays, he's either elite or he's absolutely shit. There is no in between. He's either going to play like the next coming of Thierry Henry or he's going to be like the next Yaya Sanogo. There is no in between, and that reason is enough for you to keep him away from your FPL team for now at least. So Munubai, coming to Arsenal. Okay, now Arsenal attack picks itself with Gabriel Jesus not there. There is no question of bringing a striker from Arsenal, but Arsenal's midfield is giving those points which are enough for you to cover the striker deficit. So everyone has either two of Martinelli, Odegaard, or Saka in their sides, and they are giving a lot of points to you. Now, the defense is a real point of concern. Till the pre-World Cup, Arsenal's defense was rock solid. They used to be consistent as far as clean sheets were concerned and bonuses were concerned. But now, all of the defenders are not exactly in form. Ben White was taken out just 15 seconds before the 60-minute mark, which robbed a lot of manager of 5 points, and that was the difference between a massive rise and a massive downfall. I'm sure many of us would have been cursing Arteta, and rightly so. And then comes the case of Gabriel and Saliba. Saliba is already on 4 yellow cards and he's somehow still managing to be there. And Gabriel has been having a really suspect start after the World Cup. I don't know for what. And I paid the price for having Gabriel in my lineup in the previous game week because Shaw gave 9 points and I had him on the bench. That was a difference between, for me, falling down to 40 from 35 or going back into the 20,000s like I was before. So my question to you is at this point, is it safe, Munubai, to have Arsenal defense in your FPL side, or would you stay away from them for at least the next 1 or 2 game weeks?
Arsenal have tough games starting from like now they have Newcastle, then then they have Spurs, then again I think so they have Manchester City, I think so. So they have very tough games. So it's like taking risks to keep a Arsenal defense. If you have better options on your bench, you can keep them. Like for example, you had Shaw on your bench and you have kept Saliba. So it's like you can go for Shaw because Shaw is giving some points, or you have some other keeper, you other defender, you can keep them. And like if you're talking about mid, the mid is very easy for Arsenal. You can keep two assets of him. Like you can go for Odegaard or Martinelli, Saka Martinelli, anyone. Like three of them are giving points for Arsenal right now. So out of three, you can keep two. But if you're talking about defense, so you can remove them because it because they might win a goalless. It's like a 10% chance like they might win a goalless draw, goalless game, and like it's like not possible to have a clean sheet in the two upcoming 2 games. Like Newcastle also have good attack, they will not get clean sheet. City also have good attack, so they won't get any clean sheet. So it's better you keep them on bench. Arsenal defense.
Like Amit Bhai says, so for those who are worried about players having 4 yellow cards or on the verge of being suspended, you all have to just, it's not much, you have to just pray that he does not get booked in this game, because all the yellow cards will then be discarded from game week 20 onwards. Thank you so much, Amit Bhai, for this. Mojo sir has a very interesting take on this. He has not changed his team for 5 game weeks before the World Cup and the 2 game weeks that have happened post the World Cup, and somehow Mojo sir is still averaging 60 points per game week. And Mojo sir also says that he is the boss, and Rightly so.
Mojo sir might have Haaland cap. Martinelli, he might have Trippier, he might have Shaw, he might have Rashford also. So that's why sir is scoring 60 points per
Mojo
week.
sir is saying he is the boss, and rightly so, quite literally. He is the boss, and hope you keep on having this miracle run, Mojo sir. And yeah, so Sain Bhai rightly says that since game week 9, Almiron has only blanked twice, which is I think the only player who is blanked twice in this game space is Erling Haaland. That's it. I think even Haaland is blanked only once. The only blank that I
Uh,
remember.
when I when I did triple captain to him, so he blanked.
आपने उसको लिवरपूल गेम में इसको ट्रिपल कैप्टन बनाया जहां उसने ब्लैंक कर दिया मैं वो
And he gave
bad luck थी.
blank. I was like, chalo bhai, FPL is over for me now.
And he is a
So
nemesis for any player. He captained Salah and he blanked. So he's a Manohar is a nemesis.
So let's talk about Gakpo, guys. I know the very thought of Cody Gakpo will give you all bad flashbacks, and but I think that episode is done. Let's talk about him from an FPL perspective. Parth, uh, Cody Gakpo's price is out 8 million, which puts him along with the likes of Foden, with the likes of Saka, with the likes of Mason Mount, as far as price range is concerned.
Yes.
Now, with Liverpool playing Brentford in this game week, and I think Gakpo has a fair chance to start immediately because Liverpool currently are playing Oxlade-Chamberlain in their midfield, and for any layman who has limited and even for those who have limited understanding, it is not rocket science to understand that Cody Gakpo is a much better option than Oxlade-Chamberlain when it comes to starting for Liverpool. So, with that in mind, would you start Gakpo immediately? Would you take him immediately for one? And if you have, for example, say a Darwin or a Salah, would you, or a Liverpool defender, most preferably Robertson, if you do have three Liverpool players in your side, would you remove Salah because of the overall season that Salah has had for Gakpo? What do you think? What do you think about the whole Gakpo situation as far as FPL is concerned, Parthay? Like, would you take a punt and start him immediately? Would you wait for a couple of game weeks, see how he's adapting to the conditions, or like, do you take a punt and just start straight away?
Right. So there is an uncanny phenomenon happening at Liverpool right now, wherein if they have too many attackers, they are playing shit football. But if they have limited attackers, they are playing wonderful football. So I don't know how that is supposed to affect the team dynamics, but Gakpo primarily being a wide man, I think he will be starting on the left wing. Darwin will be up top, and Salah will be on the right wing. So I mean, you could imagine Gakpo getting a return, but again, like 8 million price bracket, many of the managers have Saka in that price bracket, and well, I wouldn't replace Saka with Gakpo. If you have Foden on the contrary, then you could possibly look at that because I mean Foden is I think he's fallen out of favor at City, so that is very viable. But other than that, I think that I would wait. I would wait for 2 game weeks at least.
Okay, fair enough. So Rudrabhai asks a very interesting but unfortunately hypothetical question. Rudrabhai, I don't think this is going to happen. What price do you think Felix will have when he starts against City for Man United? So the answer is he's not going to start for us against Man United because he's not coming to United. So let's be very clear about that. I don't have any hopes of Joao Felix coming to United.
Agar
Neither I
if
want.
he comes also na, then eight is will be the base pair. Eight
I
points.
don't want I don't want him to come to United in the first place. I do not see him fit here. We need a proper striker. We do not need someone who roams around in every position. I mean, we've had enough players of being jack of all trades, master of none. So the expectation is that we have one who nails down a particular position and is not fluid. Because many times we have noticed that a player who is fluid is the one who depreciates a lot when the years progress. So I do not want that with anyone to happen. That is why my hope is when Garnacho gets a steady run, he's nurtured in that one position and he's not made to play across the attacking line. So that is what I feel. But that is drifting away from the topic. So we've spoken about all the different situations. Now we talk about our side. I mean, for the first time in a lot of while, I genuinely have confidence and trust in United players while I'm picking them for FPL. Did you all have that for the last 1 year or so? I don't think anyone did. I especially did not have any trust while picking Man United players.
For
So,
last 1 year, no.
yeah, in the last 1 year, Parth Bhai, Manu Bhai, did you all have any trust or confidence while picking up Man United players in your FPL?
None.
None,
Well,
none, none.
times are
In
changing, and that
in
is
the recent times, only Bruno was the cheat code for us in FPL.
exactly. And maybe Ronaldo in that one season where he kept on bagging for us, but apart from that, I did not see anyone, getting a ready run. So speaking about United, we've had a couple of excellent performances from certain players. Rashford is on a brilliant run of form where if he's not scoring, at least he's assisting. And then we have Luke Shaw, who's become a rather surprise package as far as FPL managers are concerned. And him playing at centre back also is resulting that he's standing a higher chance of getting bonus points as well. So Rudrabhai was talking about this only, any outer Persian player in FPL. So Sain Bhai, my question is, if you are having Luke Shaw, do you prefer do you prefer Luke Shaw in the FPL side when Ten Hag plays him as a centre back, or when Ten Hag plays him as a full back? So let me put both the situations for you. So whenever Luke Shaw has played as the left back, he's not had a lot of bonus points. He has got the clean sheet points. He's got points whenever he's assisted, so on and so forth. But in the two games that Luke Shaw has played as centre back, Luke Shaw has given 5 bonus points. 2 points against Nottingham Forest bonus, and now against Wolves he's got a 3 bonus pointer. So there is obviously a certain pattern emerging where Luke Shaw at centre back is a much more appealing FPL asset compared to Luke Shaw as full back. So Saimba, what are your thoughts on Luke Shaw playing out of position? Now let's not talk about the benefits that Man United has with Shaw playing at centre back and full back. Let's talk about it purely from an FPL perspective. Would you like Luke Shaw to continue at centre back, or would you prefer him and would you take him in your side even if he's listed as a full back?
I'll take him even if he's listed as a fullback. Nothing changes for me because the way the team is being set up and the games coming in, see, if there is a game against, say, like the top six, City, Arsenal, anyone, I like him to play at left back instead of centre back because you always say best foot forward. So even if he's at left back in those games, there is a highly a chance that it can be a clean sheet. He can give a clean sheet, or he can provide an assist. With the
Fair.
games against low level teams, he can play center back out of position. I have no problem with that. He can give points from there. But against the top teams, I would prefer him as left back. As an FPL option, he's fine with me. If he's playing a center back or a left back, I don't have any problem. I'll get him.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. So Munubai, apart from Shaw also, now with Lisandro Mart. Okay, so there is a stat with us here that United have never conceded a goal when both Varane and Casemiro have been on the pitch. That's a rather stunning stat, and which is something that we could have we could have a decent blueprint over here as far as which United players we need to have in our FTL side. So Munubai will continue with the United path. So now I think against Bournemouth, I see Lisandro Martinez starting for sure, which means that Shaw gets drifted onto the left back. So now we talk about Shaw already. So do you think you would have Lisandro Martinez in your FPL team? Or do you think that is a risk too far to take, in spite of the fact that he would give you clean sheet points or so on and so forth? Do you think that with the players that you have, would you draft in Martinez, or think the team that you have as far as defense is concerned is the way to go?
No, no. I won't take Martinez in my team because
Fair enough.
is only we will get only starting points and we will only get clean sheet points, but that's it. Because I don't think so. He might have ability to go score a goal during corner also. So it's better you won't. I won't take Martinez. If you're talking about defender, then Luke Shaw is good. If as Luke Shaw is playing centre back, it's like he's not giving points of assist. If Luke Shaw is playing LB, there are chances of getting points from assist also. So it's good if Shaw plays on left back. And as your question said, I won't take Martinez as a defender in my team.
All right. So part by we've spoken about everything. We've spoken about United. We've spoken about City assets as well. We've spoken about the double game week that is there. So we'll finally wind up with the obvious choices. Who is going to be your captain for this game week, and why is it going to be Erling Haaland?
It's actually funny question. Actually, I was just looking at my team. I've got it here on my laptop. I think personally, I'm going to be captaining Odegaard because I just like the vibe around Arsenal right now. I hate to say it, but it's true. They are playing good football, and Odegaard is getting in a lot of good positions. He's creating a lot, and he even has a goal in him these days. So why not?
Tricky fixture. It would be a gamble, even though you do like them. I think that was the only reason even why I persisted with Odegaard in the
Hmm.
previous game week. So my dilemma in the previous game week was do I take Odegaard out and put in Luke Shaw? That was my dilemma, but I managed. I thought that this is a new Arsenal. They have been performing with a lot of confidence, and they are basically talking the talk on the pitch. And I kept on Odegaard, and it worked for me very well, I must say. So I understand the logic behind keeping Odegaard as captain, but against Newcastle, that could go out either side. So that's a very bold choice by you, Pat. Also, there are a lot of people asking on chat that what is the secret of your smartness. I mean, everyone in the chat is going gaga over the fact that you're looking smart, slim. So they're asking you the secret. Is it because I took your name wrong?
No, 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 no. It's just because of good lighting. That's it.
All right, Munnu bhai, your captain for this game week,
Uh, I will risk. I will take a risk. I will go for Mitrovic.
Mitrovic. So finally, you're going to have a no Salah in your in your FPL game week.
No, no. Like Rohit Dada asked in question, like Munnu, you are taking Gakpo. I will wait till 9. If the lineup get leaked, I will definitely will use my FT and I will bring Gakpo. If he's starting, then only I will bring. If it is on bench, then I won't bring. If he's starting, then definitely मैं लाऊंगा गैक्पो को और मिट्रोविच भाई अपना कैप्टन. सईम भाई समझ गए ये भी क्या करना है फिर.
Same by your captain for this game week.
Rashford or Haaland? I'm not
All right.
sure right now.
So Parthva has gone with Odegaard as captain. Munnubai has gone with Mitrovic as captain, which is a genuine risk at this point. And Saim Bhai has gone for either Rashford or Salah, right?
Haaland.
Haaland, all right. Rashford or Haaland. So I'm also stuck between the two Norwegians to captain. I'm stuck between either Odegaard or Haaland. But I think I'll go with Haaland. So I think I'm going to persist with Haaland as my captain. Let's see how that pans out.
If
Because
you
here,
if you are making if sorry to interrupt. If you are
yeah, yeah,
making Arsenal, if you are making an Arsenal captain, so you might take a bigger risk because Newcastle
yeah,
and
exactly.
Odegaard might give you assist point, but I don't think so. You will get a clean sheet point. So
Yeah, that is the only point of view, which is why I am a little suspect on, having an Arsenal player as a captain. Which is why I removed Gabriel out from my 11 and I have drafted in Shaw finally, because I don't see Arsenal keeping a clean sheet against Newcastle, and I don't see Newcastle keeping a clean sheet against Arsenal either, which means that the only way I because ट्रिपियर पे इतना भरोसा है कि वो एक असिस्ट तो निकाल ही ले एक असिस्ट तो निकाल ही लेगा
and
एंड द फैक्ट दैट
न्यूकासल का भी ऐसा है भाई. न्यूकासल का भी ऐसा है कि like FPL का I don't know क्या है. They always give 3 points bonus points to Trippier.
हाँ
Always.
एग्जैक्टली
I
बिकॉज
don't know
बिकॉज
why they give, but
बिकॉज ही इज द मोस्ट
Almiron.
वो सबसे
Hmm,
इन्वॉल्व रहता है ना गेम प्ले
hmm.
में बिकॉज सारा सारा अटैकिंग बिल्डअप जो न्यूकासल है ट्रिपियर के थ्रू से ही जाता है ट्रिपियर स्टार्ट करता है ट्रिपियर बीच में आके भी बॉल लेके इन्फ्लुएंस करता है तो उसके वजह से उसको पासिस ज्यादा मिलते हैं उसके फेवर में विच इज वाई उसको बोनस वो हमेशा न्यूकासल के साइड से बोनस में रहता ही है ऑलवेज 3 पॉइंट हो 2 पॉइंट हो या 1 पॉइंट हो ही इज बीन कंसिस्टेंट अमंग द बोनसेस
और रोहित दादा जैसा चैट में बोल रहे हैं कि आंड्रे परेरा उनका कैप्टन है, इट्स ऑल्सो गुड चॉइस, लेकिन यू वोंट गेट क्लीन शीट पॉइंट्स, ये तो कंफर्म है, यू वोंट गेट क्लीन शीट पॉइंट्स बिकॉज लेस्टर ने लिवरपूल के अगेंस्ट एकदम बेस्ट खेला था, उनका अटैकिंग वाज गुड, लेकिन दे गेट वर्स्ट इन डिफेंस।
दस
सो लाइक
दस
इफ यू
प्लेयर
से
के साथ खेलेंगे तो यही होता है ना मुन्नू भाई, 10 प्लेयर के साथ
एंड
खेलेंगे।
एंड लाइक लेस्टर एंड लाइक चेल्सी में डेफिनेटली गोल फलम का जाएगा, लेकिन आई थिंक सो Pereira is also a good option for you to take him as a captain.
So with that, we've come to an end of a very interesting and interactive FPL discussion. We covered a wide range of topics: whom to have, whom not to have, whom to captain, whom not to captain. We spoke about all the potential pros and cons involved with each of the candidates as well. Uh, and now the only thing that we all require is lots and lots of luck and good fortune to go our way. We all want to start the new year with a green arrow, and the hope is that we all four of us do get a green arrow at the end of this game week. With that being said, this is Delvin along with Parth signed by FPL King. I'm sorry, with Parth, FPL King, and Munawar by wishing everyone
एक लास्ट
goodbye.
चीज एक लास्ट चीज एक लास्ट चीज
बोलिए
keep
बोलिए बोलिए.
KDB, keep KDB, you will get points. Confirm.
All right.
Keep
So
KDB.
do like, share, and subscribe our YouTube channel, guys. We will keep on coming out with new content to share with you guys. And apart from that, we are active on our socials, Twitter, Instagram. Do drop a follow there as well. And I always say on every stream, every day is match day on our official WhatsApp group. Uh, every day, there is not a single instance where we are not active. We all are there on the WhatsApp group as well, just in case you want FPL tips from us separately. We are happy to help otherwise as well. And we also have an amazing website where there are different things that you can enjoy to make it very interactive and an immersive fan experience. There are predictors, there are quizzes, there is a lot of stuff that you can do and check out. So go give it a look as well. And with that being said, this is goodbye from all of us. Do have a lovely evening, do have a lovely day. And once again, Happy New Year and see you all soon.
Thank you, Dalwin.
Thank